Whether it's ICP or any other cryptocurrency, it's important to understand that taking profits along the way doesn't hurt anybody. We expected ICP to hit $9. ICP hit $9. That was a resistance barrier. That was an area of interest that was hit previously plenty of times in the past. We expected it to hit in the future. Indicators were overextended. $9 was the target. We expected to pull back. How far are we likely to expect to pull back to on ICP? And what's the next move going to be? And this was the $9 barrier on ICP. Why did we expect this to be resistance? Because we zoomed out, we understood that this was a big acceleration gap that pushed us down with little resistance. We expected a push back up with little resistance. That's what happens when you get a build up of price action. But when you look at $9, clues look left, you can see that this was an area of either support or resistance at any given time. So we needed to understand that this area was an area that people were looking to take profits because people also look left. Because people also look left, people understand that this is an overextension point. That was the target. $9 was hit, and now we've started pulling back on ICP. So what is the next move likely to be? Because we talked about two support barriers that were likely to get hit. This was the first one. Why was this so important? We're going to do it again. Clues look left, clues look left. You can see that this was the top of this range. This was the top of the accumulation phase. This was the long grind on ICP that absolutely wiped out the retail. Until we break out of the top, you expect that resistance to come back and flip support, and that's exactly what's happened. So we've hit $6.12. That was a support base. Now we expect a bounce from $6.12. And if we get a rejection at this previous support, which is now resistance, $7.19, and we get a push up here, a rejection, then we're likely to come back down to the 61.8% retracement, which is the golden zone. $5.49, $5.50, call it. When we hit the 61.8, I'm expecting a bounce from there. I'm expecting strong support from there. That is the golden zone. And then we've got these two big daddies underneath us. 200 moving average, and then the 50 period moving average is starting to curl up. What's the significance of that, guys? In a few days, if ICP starts to continue above the 200, above the 50 period moving average is a faster paced moving average. That's going to push above the 200. And that, my friends, is going to create a golden cross. That's what we're waiting for in ICP, the golden cross. That's the retail indicator. And that is the signal that we're going to get a pump on ICP. So we've got a couple of support bases to fall back on here. How far has ICP dropped since the $9.12? $9.29. Let's have a look. We'll stick a measurement tool on there and we can see how far has this thing dropped. This is the importance of taking profits along the way. From its top to its bottom, 40%, to where price action is now, 32%. So anybody that bought at $9 has dropped 32%. At some point, it was 40%. So when these things swing hard. When these things pull back, they pull back hard. But the importance is, as long as we maintain this structure, as long as we maintain a higher low, then we expect an accumulation at these levels before another push to the upside to try and take back the $9 and then get through the next acceleration gap up to the top of this wedge at around about $12 to $13. That's what I'm looking for in the short term, guys. It's a case of, are we going to reject $7.19? Are we going to pull back to the 61.8? And are we going to get some kind of momentum at this point? Because as we start pulling back, one thing happens. The indicators also start pulling back. And you can see this is the daily chart, the stochastic started to pull back. You can see the RSI starting to pull back. What happened at $9? What happened at $9, guys? We were overbought. So we were at resistance. We were overbought. That's why we had $9 as the target. That was the top of the accumulation phase from the previous area. So it is textbook, guys. I'm going to be monitoring the pullback with you. I'm going to be looking at the indicators pulling back. I'm going to be looking at what support bases are going to hold. And then we're going to be looking at extensions and ICP. So make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. And if you want more one-to-one training, if you want more in-depth training with coaches, professional coaches, big YouTube channels, you can join Crypto School. You can get one-on-one training with Crypto School now. So you can choose your coach. A lot of people know Tyler Hill. Got Chris, Fish, Frank. There's me, Manny, and Lewis. Absolutely great coaches, guys. You can learn a lot from each and every single one of them. So, Crypto School, $99 a month. Link in the description below. If you want more education, if you want to progress your trading career, your investment career a lot quicker, get yourself in school, guys. Right, I'll see you in the next one.